Why it's so satisfying to get a phone to fit snugly into a jeans pocket, I can't tell you. Hi and welcome to LiTT's YouTube channel. I'm Nicole and I'm finally back to share with you more thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip4. I've been spending the past few weeks with it, and like a new relationship, I've been getting to know the good, bad, and quirky sides of this flip phone. So if you want to learn more, make sure to stay tuned. As you've seen at the title of this video, I do want to focus on the pretty cool features of this phone and offer some tips and tricks you might find useful if you finally pulled the trigger and got a Galaxy Z Flip4 for yourself. Going through the comments of the original Galaxy Z Flip4 video, I know I'm not alone in appreciating its compact form factor. I'm also not going to deny that part of my brain that relishes the nostalgia of a flip phone. Really, the biggest selling point is its pocketability. Why it's so satisfying to get a phone to fit snugly into a jeans pocket, I can't tell you. There's no logical explanation for how happy it makes me feel when I'm not constantly worried about a phone trying to nosedive out of my jeans and onto the concrete floor. It also makes it easier to carry a very small bag and pack the phone alongside my essentials. I'm also not going to deny that part of me that appreciates its unique form factor. The reason I love phones that come in unique colors and unusual designs is because they stand out. And nothing makes that big of an impact right now than a smartphone that folds in half. I've also not seen a phone get heavily customized as I have with the Z Flip devices. Even a quick search here on YouTube will pop up different ways Samsung users have decorated the Galaxy Z Flip to make it their own. Users don't just customize wallpapers or icons, but they go as far as getting decorative cases or making one of their own. The cover screen is probably my favorite space to customize, even if it's just that tiny 1.9-inch display on the back of the phone. You can add everything from a photo to a GIF to videos. I believe adding short clips is a new addition to the Z Flip4, which is a nice touch for those who want to immortalize their favorite memories. And since we're on this topic, I think it's time to introduce our first batch of what we call LiTT Tips. We do this a lot for hands-on stories on the website, so we wanted to bring it here to YouTube as well. We've gotten a bunch of questions about customizing the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip4, and the easiest way to do that outside of getting a case is changing the wallpaper and the cover screen background. To change the wallpaper, you will still need to long press on the home screen and then head into wallpaper and style. You can choose from the pre-installed wallpapers or pick your own. Now, when you want to change the cover screen, all you need to do is head into settings and scroll down until you see the cover screen option. After that, tap on clock style and then start changing it around to the style you want. If you have a specific photo, video, or GIF in mind, make sure you pick one of the basic clock styles so you can change the background images. Otherwise, you can use the default built-in clock themes. If you go the customized background route, you get the option to select up to 15 images or videos you'd like to use. You can tweak the text color of the clock to suit your background. When you're done setting it up, the Flip4 will cycle through the backgrounds you've selected every time you tap on the cover screen. Another customizable aspect of the cover screen are the widgets. Samsung included a few more new widgets you can add if you want easy access to them. You can customize your widgets right from the cover screen or through the cover screen section in the settings. But this time, you're going into widgets instead. From there, you can reorder or toggle on and off the widgets you frequently access. I would definitely love to see more cover screen apps and features in the future. I haven't tried out the third-party solutions that let you add more apps into the cover screen. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the future. Speaking of which, we'd love to know what you think about what we're making over here. So if you like what you see, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel and share your thoughts with us in the comment sections about the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip4 or other tech, lifestyle, and travel content you want us looking into. Now, this unique form factor also lends itself to some pretty interesting uses. One of my favorite ways to use it is for photos and videos. My work entails a lot of photo and video use, and having a smartphone I can easily pull up, prop up, and start shooting on is my favorite thing. Even without a tripod, this makes it easier for me to record content on the go. Plus, being able to see a picture or video frame before starting the recording is the most convenient thing. I've taken to adding a small smartphone mirror on my conventional daily driver that having this integrated into the phone is heaven sent for me. It's a feature a lot of content creators like me would appreciate. But also, it just works for any user who would love to take photos and videos with their loved ones using the best camera on the phone they have. That's really the bottom line with the Galaxy Z Flip 4. You get to use its best cameras in the easiest way possible. It also results in some pretty interesting shooting angles. I love using it to shoot products because it's made it easier for me to shoot, edit, and post right away from one device. The camera hardware change is hardly noticeable to us. But what Samsung claimed is you'll get better night photo capabilities here. I feel like there should be a caveat though. I find myself liking more of the photos I took in the default photo mode more than in its night mode. I've gotten used and prefer that slight pop and oversaturation Samsung does on its images. And in night mode, it tries to brighten the image overall. But then the colors seem somehow muted. This is a preference thing, but if you are taking it out at night, try to use both modes. Video recording at night was a pretty subpar experience. This won't be the first phone I'll pull out to take videos on the fly in low light. However, stabilization is pretty good, even outside the super steady mode. I shoot most of the time in the half-folded position because it does feel more stable to record this way. Like my finger at the back is anchoring it to my hand. Now, this is video quality. If you're recording from the cover screen itself, I started it from the cover screen. The phone's still folded. This is what the quality looks like. Now, this is the inner camera quality on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. Right now, I'm recording at 4K at 60 frames per second. What do you think? The selfie camera in the main display can come in handy in a pinch, but it's not my favorite to use on this phone. It will work just fine for your video call needs though. Just being able to prop it up on your desk and join the call is very useful. As I mentioned in our first look, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 doesn't default to that 1:1 aspect ratio anymore. And for the short-form vertical video-obsessed crowd, this comes in handy. You can check if that's the case with your device. Head to the camera app and tap on settings. Look for cover screen selfie ratio and pick match front camera. This means if you're recording horizontally or vertically, the camera will follow the direction you're in. Another handy camera feature you should be using is palm shutter. I believe this one is also enabled by default. It's the easiest way to trigger the rear cameras when shooting, especially when you have the Flip 4 propped up somewhere and you don't want to rely on timers. To check if it's enabled on your Flip 4, head to the shooting method section in the camera app settings and toggle that on. When you are shooting with the cover screen, you have 3 modes to choose from: photo, portrait, and video. Activating the camera requires a double tap of the power button. In photo, you can choose between using the main camera or the ultra-wide one. Swipe up or down in this mode to switch between the cameras. To preview how the frame looks like in all 3 modes, double tap on the screen. I haven't seen a single video on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 where people aren't pointing out the crease in the middle. And for a lot of longtime users of this device, a lot of them will tell you that you won't even notice it. And it's not that it isn't noticeable. It's just that you won't care after a while. It's quite easy to adapt to it. Looking at it face on as you would any other smartphone, it kind of just melts into the background. I tend to scroll at the bottom part of this phone so I don't even touch the crease that much. What I am fascinated about is how sturdy that glass feels when you press a finger on it. Like, the screen bends, but the feel is pretty similar to your typical snap phone. I've been using the phone with long nails for most of my review period, and while I felt concerned about it initially, I haven't really noticed any damage to the display when it's on. Of course, I'm not purposefully running my fingernails through the display for the heck of it. I'm just observing how it holds up with my typical use. When it comes to consuming content, I won't be singing a different tune as other creators tried out this phone. That crease won't be visible when you're the only one watching on it face on. Share the screen with others and you'll see. I don't tend to watch things on my smartphone anyway, so it's not a use case that really bothers me. But if that's important to you, then this is something to take note of. I'm more of the kind of user that uses it half-folded most of the time. It just reminds me of that compact and totally spice, which I really love. And on some occasions, I've even folded it up just a bit so that I can have the phone standing on its own horizontally on my desk. Since I've only had a few weeks with the Galaxy Z Flip4, I can't speak about long-term durability. But of course, that might be something we could explore in the future if you ever want to learn how my life with the Flip4 has been going. With this third generation Flip, I feel like Samsung has hit its stride with how resolved the design is. But I do want to see that hinge get stronger and that crease to disappear a bit more. App optimization is something else I want the company to work on. Adding extra useful features is something I'd like to see in the future. Now, third-party cover screen access is something I want to see. Like how convenient would it be to record in Instagram or TikTok and be able to frame the shot with the cover screen. Getting extra features on this small display would definitely make it a more attractive device. But we don't have that yet, so if you're waiting for those extras, don't go for this device. Samsung added a mini touchpad as one of the new experimental features on the Flip 4. It makes sense on the Fold, but here, it just feels like it's there for the sake of it. Yes, it makes it feel more like a mini computer, but I really haven't found much use for it. Outside of complaining about the crease, people have been griping about the abysmal battery life on the Galaxy Z Flip 3. I haven't tested that one, but with the Flip 4, you'll still be living a bit of that power bank life. At home, I could get it to last on Wi-Fi from around 9 AM fully charged to around midnight. When I took it out with me for a day of events recently, and I left the house around 10 AM, I already needed a top-up at around 5 PM. Granted, I used the phone as a hotspot for another phone and a laptop a bunch of times during that afternoon. Another useful feature I find on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 is that you can use the power button to pull down the notification tray. I know some phones already do this, but with a tall device like the Flip 4, it makes it easier to reach the top. I just wished it worked on scrolling through apps too. It'll make it easier to go through my feeds or to be on websites. If you want to activate this, head to Advanced Features in the settings, Motions and Gestures, then Finger Sensor Gestures. Toggle on the Open Notification Panel option. Now, in case you've missed the memo, you can actually answer calls and text on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 without opening the phone. For calls, obviously you'll answer them in speakerphone mode, but you can switch it to the earpiece when you open the phone. We actually have a tutorial of this on YouTube Shorts, which I'll try to link at the end of the video or in the description. As for answering messages, I didn't actually tweak anything in the settings, but if you want to know how to do it, every time a message comes in, just scroll down the notification until you see the canned messages, or you can opt to reply via voice dictation. As Samsung continues to develop the flip and foldable segment, we're seeing phones like the Galaxy Z Flip 4 become more attractive alternatives to your typical slab smartphone. I got sold on that novelty, and I'm seeing more people getting swayed by it too. I've answered more questions about this phone from non-techie friends than I have any other device I've tested recently. But I also acknowledge and know it isn't a perfect device. If you're willing to overlook its shortcomings and are attracted by the features I have mentioned earlier, then this might be a smartphone worth your consideration. If you've made it to the end of this video, I want to say thank you once again for tuning in. If you're looking for a space to learn more about interesting, useful, and cool tech to add to your daily life, we hope you like and subscribe to LiTT and check out our other videos too. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope to see you next time. Bye!